got one fresh off the press, or should I say fresh out of the voting booth. This is an update to my story last week. Ohio takes a historic step. As I predicted last week, yesterday they successfully passed Issue 2 and officially became the 24th state to legalize adult use cannabis. The successful vote means that in just 30 days, Ohioans 21 and older can legally indulge in the consumption, cultivation, and sale of cannabis subject to state-imposed regulatory and tax system. This is a significant pivot from Ohio's stance in 2016 when adult use was voted down 64% to 36% and only medical cannabis was permitted. This progressive move is expected to send ripples through the Midwest, especially in states like Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Kentucky, and Indiana. These neighbors might soon see a wave of their residents heading to Ohio, but not for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but more for the roll and puff of legal cannabis contributing to Ohio's tax gains in the process. While the wind of change is blowing, efforts to legalize cannabis via voter ballots is already sparking up in states like Florida, Nebraska, and South Dakota for 2024. Ohio's decision is the latest testament to a growing trend towards legalizing across the United States. And despite some heavy opposition, which included advertisements that played on the fear of cannabis edibles being marketed to children, and the Protect Ohio Workers and Families group predicting an additional 48 fatal vehicle crashes and almost 2,300 more injury crashes if they legalize, Ohioans saw through the reefer madness scare and showed up in support of reasonable regulation. Tom Herron, the spokesman for the coalition to regulate marijuana like alcohol, said, marijuana, I think you said this already, Jason, marijuana is no longer a controversial issue. Ohioans spoke loud, they spoke clear, they know what they want. They want to regulate the adult use market in Ohio. They want to get rid of the illicit market, and they want to bring the tax revenue back from the state of Michigan and bring it in and invest the money right back into the local communities. Not everyone is toasting this new era. Good old Kevin Sabet, the president of Smart Approaches to Marijuana Action, expressed his disappointment with the outcome, arguing state lawmakers to intervene against commercial cannabis activities. His statement reads, "This fight is not over. It appears Mr. Sabet is still firmly holding on to the banner for prohibition, even as public opinion and policy shift in the opposite direction." With the initiation of sales projected for the end of 2024, and with some skeptics from the Republican-led legislature, there's an air of uncertainty on whether we'll see a smooth rollout or legislative hurdles that could inflate the very illicit market that these measures aim to defeat. Even though medical cannabis was approved in 2016, the first dispensary did not open until 2019. However, Harkin didn't seem concerned about state lawmakers making potential changes to Issue 2. He went on to say, "This is a landslide victory. I can't believe in 2023 we're actually talking about elected officials not respecting the will of the voters and not respecting the outcome of an election." Ohio's move to legalize adult use cannabis is more than just a state decision. It's reflective of a larger national momentum towards embracing cannabis reform. And while some critics like Mr. Sabet remain entrenched in their positions, Ohio's vote is a clear signal. The conversation on cannabis is evolving with or without their consent. We'll keep you posted on the latest updates. I'm Stone Slade reporting for the High at 9 News.
Ohio, where's the swag like Ohio, Rico?
Listen,
See?
I'm so tired of hearing Kevin Sabet. Does he just have like a stock paragraph that he's going to give every news agency after every state goes? Like, here, we won't even interview you. Just give us a stock one. We'll call it the Kevin No Bet or whatever your name is. Like, this is you are. God, I don't know why people put a microphone in front of him.
It's called a canned response, Luke.
Yeah, and his shit needs to be canned, is what it needs to be. That organization is a waste of money, and it's completely misleading. It's propaganda. Like, please, people, stop listening to that garbage, because it's not true and it's a waste of your money. If you're donating to that organization, find another organization to donate to, please, because it's doing no good. Bravo to Ohio. Listen. Yeah. Cleveland, Youngstown, Dayton, Cincinnati, like I said before, and all the other cities in Ohio, man, Much love to you guys out there. The people have spoken. I love when everybody comes together on these ballot initiatives, because it's hard to get people to go out to there and vote sometimes. Because look, let's keep it real. Politicians are not representing people in the way that they should, and a lot of politics can be just discouraging altogether. But to get the people to organize and come together and pass this vote is historic. It's another notch. Welcome to the party, Ohio. We're going to get the next states coming down the line. And listen, we're doing this. You could go ahead and get Kevin Sabet's canned response and just go ahead and run it for the next few states too, and we'll keep this pushing. But federal legalization is coming too, and I'm happy to see Ohio push this forward, man. So bravo.
Bravo.
Yeah, well, Kevin Sabet's dumb as a box of rocks, and he's full of shit. And he's been that way since he first stepped up trying to influence the marijuana question or the cannabis question in the United States. What I'm going to watch is it took them 3 years from passage of the medical to get their first dispensary open. And what I've experienced is bureaucrats can drag their feet. Oh my God. And they will argue about shit. And the next thing you know, you're 2 or 3 years down the road and you still don't have your first business. They're still fighting about the enabling statutes and bringing the regulations out. That's where they still have a lot of control. It's very frustrating. And you can pass a law, but if you got to go have someone do an enabling statute and then do regulations, the shit just seems to take forever. Ever.
Yes. I would imagine it's going to take forever too with Ohio. Like I'm really excited that they got this passed, that they've made it over this hump, but I really don't anticipate anything for a couple of years realistically.
You know, and this whole save the children, you know, crusade that they've been going on. They've just been taking L's left and right. I think it's time that they rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They rebrand and just get resurrected as some other bullshit. Kevin Sabet needs to pack his bags and go home, take the L, and just shut up and just go away for a couple years.
Oh man, that would be so great.
It's not the state's job to be your mommy. Okay? If your kids are smoking weed, which mine did, and I did when I was a teenager, like it's a parent's job to deal with that, not the state's job.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I fundamentally disagree. It's called acting in loco parentis, in the place of your parents. Fuck that. You got parents as a child. If you're vaping and buying this shit or getting it, that's a parent's problem. You shouldn't outlaw everything out there just because a kid's doing something the parent can't make them stop. The nature of parent-teenage relationships. And on top of that, there's not a single bit of scientific evidence showing that people smoking weed as a teenager leads them to be brain damaged as they get older, leads them to, go into moral turpitude crimes. Yeah, they might catch a case because of weed, but it doesn't make them a criminal. This beating this drum is way, way old. Just stop it, Kevin. You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, get him, Uncle Dale. Shout out to James of Flatbush. He asked, he wonders if LeBron James will open up a dispensary. I would not be surprised. If you've been watching LeBron Net, his website and everything. He's been doing a lot of articles on athletes and cannabis, being linked to cannabis. Too, I would not be surprised if he does.
You think he'll qualify for social equity?
He partakes in, he's a big man. He's a big wine connoisseur. And I would not be surprised if he partakes.
You think he'll qualify for social equity?
Cookies did, didn't they?
Just saying. I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
I mean, if you take where LeBron grew up, I guess that's
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think
I don't see why I would not fund a bunch of Akron social equity applicants
like P. Diddy did.
Social equity businesses.
Like
that'd be fantastic.
Like P. Diddy.
Yeah, that would be super dope. So listen, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna call him out. LeBron, put out the social equity applicants out of Akron. Fund that thing, and that would be a really awesome venture for you. It'd be profitable, and you'd be doing good work.
LeBron or you could do like Chris Webber in New York and just say you're going to do it, and then the state will say that they're going to put together a fund, and then there's no money in it.
If LeBron does that might move him past Michael Jordan. I don't know.
Well, LeBron's the first active, high-ranking athlete to be a billionaire while he's playing. So, break off a little cash. P. Diddy failed. Yeah. And I'm always talking about representation, whether you like LeBron or not, whether you like P. Diddy or not. Like, Having somebody of color in that position, in an executive place, and actually breaking off their own bread to do that is great for representation, and people follow that. So
yes,
hopefully it does.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We shall see. I'm not going to hold my breath though for this. Just so you guys know, I'm not holding my breath.
I don't know. You put some money on it? I think chances are that we see LeBron supporting this in some way or fashion vocally.
I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to say chances are that we see LeBron jump into the industry in some form within the next year.
That's too vague. That's too vague.
Yep.
Way too vague.
Well,
all he has to do is just invest in something, and then he can be considered in the industry. So that's way too vague.
I mean, that's what everybody does. Just invest in something, and they're in the industry, right?
That's what I'm saying. I don't define that as in the industry to me. To me, you got to be doing something.
Like you don't have to be plant touching. Are you saying he has to be plant touching?
Yep, I'm saying he's got to be plant touching 100%.
So LeBron got to be in the grow room, bro. I'm sorry, dog. You got to be in the grow room, or Jason ain't certifying you.
No, 100%.
Yeah, but I'm not certain the NBA is going to allow that.
What's that?
I'm not certain the NBA is going to allow that.
How cool would it be?
They're getting better about weed because everyone in basketball smokes weed.
How cool?
But allow them to go out there. I think the NBA is still struggling with the image. And not that they should, but I think they're gonna be some foot dragging to allow LeBron as an active player under contract in the league to be out there, slinging weed. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just see that they're going to drag their feet about that a bit.
How cool would it be?
He's not going to be any plant touching.
No, hold on. How cool would it be to see him like bud tending in his own store? How cool would that be? Okay.
He's the face of the NBA. He's just not
the buds.
That's what I'm saying, bro. This could be a big shift. It could be the catalyst for a major shift.
Yeah, they have been loosening up their rules and everything. The NBA is the most forward when it comes to that. I mean, you have to just know with basketball culture comes smoking weed, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody street baller or organized baller like in their downtime I didn't smoke with. Period.
I mean, listen, there's no weed cultivars named after any football or baseball players.
Right? You got Gary Payton. You got what other ones we got? That's the only one that I know.
What other basketball players? What do we?
They got strains after him.
Got LeBron Hayes.
Oh boy,
LeBron.
Yeah, in the trap world.
LeBron Runts.